Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. So right away, right, the art is spectacular. The art is insane. It is crazy good. It has almost a kind of uncanny valley feel to it, where it's like, is this real or is that a robot? It's almost like too good. But you're like, I don't know, this is reality. I don't know what's real anymore. I think especially the 3D effects, when you kind of had that feeling when it runs and throwing rocks at him, then after the act, before the acting happened, and we kind of see how they kind of zoom out in this great perspective, him running while, you know, it's snowstorm and the trees are different, so on. That was breathtaking. And I think even when he did this thing, when he did like this kind of like a stand-up thing, oh, I hit my lamp. But when he did this thing, right, that also looked so good because it really felt like this is exactly how it should look, because his fingers are a little bigger here, right, because they're closer to the camera. It's always perspective, right, but that looked really, really good and so on, and it really gave that kind of like a very nice, it felt like an extremely modern, high top quality stuff, right, like really, really did. I think it looked way better than most animes do, right? Way better. I think it looked by far, again, right, by far the best. The best thing is the visual, absolutely. I'm not even saying the story is bad. I'm saying that the visual were 11 out of 10 straight up, right? The visuals were just extremely good, and also very bloody and so on. I see that family, it's very detailed and so on. So it is all of that was breathtakingly good. So that is straight up, right? I think everyone's gonna agree with that it looks a freaking masterpiece. And I felt right away, it's like, man, it's like I'm watching a movie, yeah. Right away, it's like, just after a few minutes, I feel like I'm watching the beginning of any, you know, top quality budget, at least when it comes to aesthetics, visuals, and so on, of a movie, right? Where they have more budget for that, like a 1.5 hour movie, than they have for like an episode of an anime, right? So it felt really good. Like, it's spectacular, to say the least. So let's just, I think we can all agree on that. It just looks beyond right. So let's go on. Let's talk about the storyline. So the story, though, has to be said, though, and I said it a few times during the reaction part, because I am a know-it-all kind of character. No, but like, if there's one tropey story, though, so that I feel is the only thing I would say is a negative, is the absurdly basic trope, right, of, okay, main character leaves to, like, you know, go and sell the wood, right, go and buy that cow or whatever, comes home, and then his family is being, like, murdered, or, like, they're burning alive or something. I mean, you know, that's just like a TV trope thing, for example, a movie trope like Star Wars, the same thing, like, spoiler, the same thing with Luke, right, when he come home, his family are burnt. But, like, that is a storyline you can find since old Mesopotamia. So we're talking, like, I think around at least like 5,000 years or so. Like, so roughly around there we can find this returning home and your family is murdered trope. Like, if you read like an old Greek stories, it's quite popular there, and so on. Right? So since then it's been quite popularized. so when you read a storyline, it's like, oh, so I mean, almost in that sense, when I see the main character going and selling like the wood, and it's like, okay, he leaves and stay with that guy, and then, you know, it's probably gonna be a tango, right? But yeah, and then you know, he comes home and he's like, I smell something. He's like, oh, I see, your family is dead. so I felt the first minute though were a little bit like that. As soon as I saw his family and they're all like happy and like a nice, lovable family, and they're poor, but they're all like, yeah, we're living in freedom and it's super fun and so on, right? As soon as you see that and he leaves, oh, they're dead. They're all gonna be dead. So in that sense though, I think it works, but it also works because it's the most easy way to tell you why this character wants revenge, right? Yeah, so, you know, it's always like that, right? But after that, it was really good. After that, when we get into the whole, okay, his sister is turning, but he's fighting her, right? And her teeth in like the wood there of the axe, right, of the axe shaft. And she's biting that thing, and he starts crying, she starts crying on top of him, right? All of that stuff was really good. That was a straight up 10 out of 10 storytelling. So even though it started with like, okay, this is the most classic family dead thing, sister not really dead. She's more like, you know, demonic now. Let's talk about and the issue. So that was fantastic. That was that was great. Really, really great, right? And after that, we get the most classic badass guy stuff. No, I don't know, but yeah, then we get like that you know, experienced warrior showing up helping him, and they're like, you got potential. Yeah, but and I expected it to happen too, so that wasn't predictable, but I expected it to happen, and I love that scene, except the crying thing, where that was almost the best scene. Second best scene for me, easily, was when she was like, no, my brother, yeah, that was, which I did wait for it to happen though, because she's gonna save her brother. That was a very good scene. It kind of shows that she is, of course, not, you know, her mind isn't completely lost, right? She's like, no, I will protect my brother from him. That was very good. And of course, this, you know, experienced Slayer then is like, she has some willpower left. Maybe she could be useful. Yeah, like, yeah, maybe she isn't all bad, right? Yeah, so that was a very, very strong scene, very emotional scene as well. Very, very good episode. And I would say about the other character, I liked him. You know, he's like a super OP character appearing, right? Pretty standard, right? Kind of showing the character the depth, whatever, of powers, like, you know, easily beating them. You know, but where, yeah, he easily like don't get it, and they're all, you know, dead, right? So he's very, very good, and the shows you kind of like, you were here now, you're down here, but you can become much stronger, right? And as we see in the opening has the highest budget, but the opening looks really, really good. Opening was really, really good, except for the opening and things like that. Opening probably number 2 for me. And when we see that opening, right, and the fighting in the opening, that looks spectacular. As I said earlier, the whole visual thing when he throws he throws like stones to him, right, or snowballs, whatever, and then the axe thing, that looks amazing. So I can't wait to see them actually fight with, you know, real powers, right? This is like his level 1 fight, right? Before he learns to use the actual, you know, demon slaying abilities, right? I haven't read the manga. I'm assuming, obviously from the general premise in the opening, he's gonna, you know, go be trained by this Tengu guy, which is probably the guy in the house or whatever, and he's gonna, you know, have some friends and so on, right? And after that, or during that, after that, they're gonna fight people, right? And that's probably gonna look amazing. So that's something to look forward to. So yeah, all in all, I would say it's like a 10 out of 10 episode. The only thing I would call it for is, of course, okay, this is the most basic trope thing ever. But I'm just saying that's how it is. I don't think it's like necessarily bad because of that, because it's the first episode and you kind of just want to start the character's journey, right? I really feel it doesn't really matter so much in the end, because it's just the first episode to motivate why the character, you know, wants revenge or whatever, right? And why his sister is a monster now. So it's just there as like an initiated thing. It's kind of similar to like an isekai anime, where it's like, oh, he got teleported into another world. Okay, yeah, like we've seen that like a million storytellers too, as the one level, whatever, right? It's not really like super, you know, important if that is really explained perfectly, or like, or more, I guess, if it's innovative. Because the interesting thing is not so much like in Konosuba, like why did, you know, he die and get there? It's really funny. Yeah, it's just really funny. The interesting thing is more like what's happening in the next world, right? That's interesting. I think here in the same time, yeah, it's like not interesting really why his family gets killed. It could be interesting. It doesn't have to be. I think the interesting part comes after, right? When she is becoming turned, and she's fighting him, and then of course meeting him, and then I'm still giving it 10 out of 10. I feel like even though it's trope, that is still 10 out of 10 for me, because it's first episode. So I like, no, you know, I think it's fine. You need to set up the story right. You need to set up the motion of the characters and the motivation and so on. So anyway, yeah, 10 out of 10 episode. I think it was amazing. Best episode so far this season. Bare none, yeah. Of course, I would hope that the One Punch Man and so on when I beat it, but we will see next week when some more anime starts. So it still is like 10 more animes at least to watch the season. But this feels like it could be the best anime, definitely. And as I said before I started the whole first person thing, for a newcomer, this is probably the best anime, right? For like, you know, non like continuation show like Attack on Titan, One Punch Man and so on, they have Odoro and so on, they have already spent some time building up there this season with previous, of course, seasons. Then this is probably the best. Will be. That's my guess on it. So I'm pretty much like, yeah, end of the season, probably. I don't think it's how I say it. I'm pretty serious. Yeah, I worked on the thumbnail there. I'm like, yeah. I feel like it probably is, but I will give a notion note when I look at anime season. I only look at new animes and I don't say old animes because I feel that's really unfair, right? Because they have like really, yeah. So, but anyway, amazing episode. Hope you like my review and the other pressures to one. Press the like and so on. Now we're gonna go over and we're gonna watch. What is it called? We're gonna watch horror anime. Yeah, finally horror anime. I think that's the best, girl. So I'm happy to see that. We're gonna watch. We Never Learn. It's a really cool, like Gairu, tanned athletic girl. So I'm like, yeah, this is my, this is my kind of female character. You can see here, have her in GIF here. Oh yeah, here she is. So that's what I'm gonna watch after this. So I will see you guys soon. And yes, it's up. And again, then all his question right. The anime is up on Crunchyroll now, and so you can watch it there. You can watch no problem with that. And of course, I watched it on TV before. I speak Japanese, so I just watch it. I don't care about the subtitles. If anything, when I watch many anime subtitles, I feel it's ruined for me a little bit because I will be more concerned of like, oh yeah, that's a weird transition. Or sometimes I do laugh at them though because I'm happy about them doing. In comedy animes, I kind of like it more because it's kind of funny to see how they translate some jokes. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. That was a good play on words. So sometimes it makes me happier. But the only animes I kind of care about session appeal mainly are the very psychological gambling animes where even my app is kind of like, I'm not really sure what they're doing right now. Yeah, something like Kadim, I'm like, hey, this plan is really confusing. Yeah, then it helps being able to read because it's like, man, this is confusing. Even if you can read it, it's still like, I don't get anything here. Anyway, hope to see you guys soon with the first impression of We Never Learned, and probably the best horror this season. So I'm hyped now for best stuff. Yeah, I'm like, yes,